Hi guys, it's October here, your Friday's co-host for Witches of the Moon. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get this video up a bit quicker than I did last week because of one thing or another. But however, I've managed to figure something out with my camera so that it stops being a daft brush, and I have managed to get it charged enough so that today I would be able to go on with this video. So, I'm going to cover two or three aspects of this topic today, which is basically Samhain. So the first topic I'm going to talk to you about is the Halloween aspect of things, which is more what my son links in with rather than Samhain. So basically in Scotland it's slightly different, not majorly different but slightly different. When I was younger we used to do a thing called guising, and guising is basically where you dress up like you do when you're trick-or-treating, and basically you go door to door and you do little performances, like you tap the door, and when somebody opens the door you do a poem or a song or a little act or something, and basically it was an expected thing. You didn't just tap the door and put your hand out for stuff. It's a bit different nowadays. Even the geysers in Scotland nowadays, it's changed a little bit because not many kids come to the door now and do a wee song or something like that, which is how it used to be when we were young, which was the really fun thing about it. Basically the word geysers means performers in disguise and can be traced back to probably about the Middle Ages. It's a tradition that people will dress up and put in decorations upon their person, like fancy dress, and it was to scare away evil spirits. Also carrying out the tradition of giving gifts or sacrifices to keep the spirits happy, so they would basically leave the living alone, so to speak. That's what I did when I was young, and it was really fun and totally different to what it is now. And we didn't even know what the word trick or treat meant till I think the first time I heard that, God, I don't know what age I was. But it was always known as guising. It was never trick-or-treating. It's where I live now, it's kind of a mixture. Some people call it guising and some people call it trick-or-treating. But where I come from, up the northeast coast, to this day they still call it guising. So it is pretty cool. We also used to do things like, again, it's probably done elsewhere now as well, I can't really remember, but we used to do things like duking for apples, and you hang string from a tree or a broom handle or something if you're inside, and you hang treacle scones from it, and you've got your hands tied behind your back, and you've got to eat the treacle scone without using your hands, which is messy and a lot of fun. So we did that when we were young too. I'm trying to see a bit more histories and some things. Hang on a second. Also, in Scotland as well, way back in the day, people did not use the traditional pumpkin. It was actually a turnip. So people hollowed out turnips, and turnips are pretty hard, so I don't know how folk would have got on with that, but you used to hollow out a turnip instead of a pumpkin. So I'm just looking to see if I put anything down about that. Keeping my ear open for the sun as well. Yeah. Basically, that was the traditional thing anyway. So it was looking for apples, and the treacle scone, I don't know the official word for it, what it was called. I don't know, anyway. Also, there is a poem that I would like to read that I found online. I'm seeing who the author is. It's from the Scottish Poetry selection from like an online sort of resource thing. So anyway, I shall read you this. I think it's quite cute. It is called The Singing Tatty Bogle, which is basically a scarecrow. Alane upon the field she stood, the tatty bogle, tall and prude. But certes she was smertin braw, a bonny lass, though made of straw. Her gowden hair was made o' wool, her dainty gown when it was new. Lang syne hid the guidwife's best, she chigly was the bogle dressed. The beast they came through a' the airts, the todran tours frae furrin perts. They came by day, they came by night, to see amazed by ordinary sicht. Excuse me, because I'm not quite fluent. I think it's like more Doric. And craws and sparrows by the score, away low birds, mair nor afore. The farmer roared and raged about. I'll cast you tatty bogle out. Fair tatty bogle she was way. Said the hoolet, what's a day? He flew down free the elder tree. Now dry your een and hark to me. See lassie, tak my good advice. There is nae use in being nice. Can you nae glower and screech na to send the curdy birds awa? The bogle grat nae mair instead. I'm much obliged to ye, she said. My voice is loud, just like the crake. Then sing, he said, for ony's sake. It chilled the very blood to hear. The bogle sang frae far and near. The birds rose up a fricht at sair, and never come back ony mair. Say should ye pass at screech o' day, along the road frae Auchenblay, and hear a strange uncanny sound, that scares the birds for miles around. A soon like pencils on a slate, be on your way and dinna wait. Ye can be sure as anything, you've heard the tatty bogle sing. So it's quite cute, I think. It's basically supposed to be scaring the birds away, and it was being polite and like saying hello to them instead of scaring them away. So the owner or the farmer was like, excuse me, you're not doing your job. So it wasn't very scary scarecrow. So anyway, that is the tatty bogle, which I think is quite funny. So that I thought I would do a bit of the humorous side of things. Right, what else can I tell you? Yeah, I also wanted to share a couple of other things, which is, the first part is, this year I plan to do a bit of a little, what would I call it? Not even a ritual, really. Just a sort of spending time with my gran and my granddad, really. As you can see here, I actually did this for witchcrafting, but this is actually a sort of remembrance or ancestor candle that I did for my grandparents. So you can see on here, it's got things like A is my granddad's first initial and my granddad's first initial and his middle name initial. This is my granny's initial. Well, she was actually called Betsy, but everybody called her Gladys. I don't know why, but I've been told everybody called her Gladys, and she was known as Gladys within the family, so G is for Gladys. The numbers are number 26 is the last address that my grandparents lived together under the same roof. My granddad passed when my mother was only 16 years old, so I never met him, but I've heard a lot about him, and he's come to me a couple of times, more so my gran, but he came to me, funnily enough, when my son Ali was born. I had severe complications, very touch and go. I won't go into it because it's a big long story. And basically, a man was standing at the side of my bed, and he was there and he wasn't there, and he was there and he wasn't there. And I didn't really recognise him. And I actually said to my mum, way back then, you know, I described him. And I knew it wasn't my granddad on my dad's side because I knew exactly what he looked like. And I was under 10, I think, when he passed. So I knew it wasn't my granddad on my dad's side. So I was explaining what he looked like, and it turned out that it seems anyway like it was my granddad on my mum's side. Again, without going into a long story, some stuff's happened to me over the years with regards to losing children. So Ali would have been the first grandson to be born to survive, because my sister had a daughter first, and Ali's my only child. So I had my son, and then 2 further sons on my sister's side came along, but I just had the one surviving son. So my mum said to me, being that he wanted to like welcome Ali into the world sort of thing, and also be there just in case, because I was having a hard time and he possibly knew what had happened to me in the past, so he was trying to keep an eye on me. So that's what she said anyway. So that is regards my granddad. And my granny passed when I was, as you can see here, there's an 8. My granny passed when I was 8 years old. So that's why that's there, that connection's there. That's my little protection organ, little love hearts. They aren't very like love hearts, but never mind. That's my little scully dude to represent sort of death and stuff like that. And number 5 is my granddad died in a double-digit month. So this is a numerological number linked in with that. I was trying to put the numerological figure down as opposed to the double-digit date. So that's that. Number 4 is the actual month that he passed, which was April of the year he passed. And also number 4 resonates with me because it was my granny's birthday. So that's that. This links in with my granny because this is her Celtic tree sign, and so that's why I put that in, again linking in with my path, but also something specific to link in with my gran. A lot of other artwork like triple moon goddess sign, etc. And I picked certain herbs and that to go in there, which I won't say them all because there's quite a few. But anyway, you get the idea. So that is my like ancestor stroke love remembrance candle for my grandparents. So that is one thing I plan to do this year. I've been in 2 minds. It's my birthday coming up, so I don't know whether or not I'm going to do this for my birthday or if I'm going to incorporate it into Samhain. I did want to go up to my grandparents' graves, well, they're buried in the same place, but I don't think I'll have the money to get up there to do that, which is a shame. So I actually know where their graves are placed, so I'm actually thinking of maybe contacting the cemetery and having something sent up to their resting place for Samhain. So what I may do is either for my birthday or for Samhain, I'm not sure which one yet, if I don't do one I'll do the other, is to go to Mary King's Close. Now Mary King's Close is it was cordoned off, I can't remember what period in time, due to the plague, and it spread like wildfire in Edinburgh and especially that particular area, so it was cordoned off and decided by the local authorities and probably by the people that lived there to seal off Mary King's Close. I believe it was 7 or 10 stories high, and they sealed the lot off, and whoever was in there basically was left to, you know, die, but not in obviously a very nice way. So for me, Samhain is about ancestors obviously, but to me I like to honour and remember and show a little bit of love for people that have lost their lives through ailment or whichever way they passed, who have maybe been forgotten about. For example, in Mary King's Close, although a lot of people do go and visit there, probably family members, you know, don't know where they are. You know, like people can die and like sort of disappear, and people don't know where, you know, where they don't have like a place they can go to, like a place where they've been buried or, you know, last seen alive or whatever. So there is a lot of stuff going on there. The other place I want to go and visit, like I say, I'm going to do one for my birthday and one for Samhain, but I don't know which way around I'm going to do it yet. It depends on finances, etc. But the other place I want to go, which is walking distance from here, and I've been there several times. Sorry, I'm just keeping an ear out for my son. Is Bangor Village Hospital, and it's got a lot of history, a lot. It was built and started having patients incoming. I think it was the late 1800s, early 1900s, like just before World War I. And basically what happened was it ended up being a multi-purpose hospital over the time of it first opening to it closing its doors in 2000, and I can't remember the date, but in the it was 2005 or 2010 or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but basically I have a video about it on my own channel about Bangor. And basically it was a institution, like a mental asylum, and it was also a military hospital. So there's a lot that went on there. Also there was a general hospital which there as well, which actually had a maternity unit and everything in it. And basically I don't know whether little ones passed there due to illness or what. I do know that the place actually had areas where it was dealing with things like TB, like infectious diseases, etc. So there may be some, you know, children that passed due to, you know, stuff like that. So for me, I like to go down there and pay my respects to like lost ones, forgotten ones, you know. I didn't know this till recently, till a few months ago. I think it was the summertime or something. I was doing some research on the place, and I actually found out that nobody that passed at Bangor, apart from maybe a couple that are kind of hush-hush and don't really know anything about those people, but the majority of people actually were placed in pretty much unmarked graves, and it was Ecclesmachan Cemetery and Uphall Cemetery, and somebody was doing some digging on something to do with when his father passed, about wanting to be buried in this cemetery, one of the cemeteries, and he was told there was basically there was no room, but he could see that there was room, and he was confused. So he started doing a lot of digging around, and he actually found out that there was many people buried there, unmarked. So he pushed the hand with the council and the health service, etc., and found out, got records, got somebody else to get involved, well, a few people to get involved actually, and what they'd ended up doing was he got these people to all collaborate together, and they then put up plaques to commemorate these people that lost their lives. Some were military and some were not military. So, you know, I thought it was a lovely thing to do. So, obviously I can't do anything like that, but I like to be able to go down there and leave a little mark of respect and love and remembrance, and, you know, I want to go down there and just do a little blessing, etc. And I was going to do it this year, but money situation happened and I couldn't do it. But what I would like to do, and I spoke to one of the security guards down there earlier on in the year about doing like a memorial of flowers to commemorate for the military people that lost their lives there, passed there, and also for anybody else. We never got as far as discussing what, but that is something I'm going to keep going on with, you know, delving into and figuring out what we're going to do, so that next year, planting season, I'm going to get together with, it was the securities boss who I have to meet up with at some point and go over it all with her. So, to cut a long story short, I think it's just a case of, you know, for me it's honouring ancestors, Samhain, but it is also for honouring those who have passed, those who have gone, those people that have potentially been forgotten about, people that maybe don't have any family, for example, or were placed in there when it was being used for mental health and just left, forgotten about, like, you know, written off, like you don't exist anymore, and a lot of that kind of thing did happen. So that is my little take on Samhain. Like I say, Halloween, fun thing for my son and to participating in the fun side of things. And then on the more spiritual side of things, that's what I hope to do. The other thing I wanted to say, and this is a little like thing that my son does. My son has special needs, and he's not very good at writing, but he can do it with help, you know, if I'm helping him. What he does, he started doing this just recently, just a few years ago, is you get a white sky lantern. We use the Eco wire-free sky lanterns, and he picks 2 colours. Now, a few years ago he picked orange and something else, but he recently picked black and white, and he likes black. He's like me, tends to like red. I think he would have picked black and red, but we didn't have any red, so he picked the black and the white. So the black one, he writes things on it that he doesn't like it's very broken down as to the way my son thinks, so it's not big long-winded sentences. It might be something like, he's had some physical medical health problems, so he's put maybe 2 or 3 words linked in with that, like he wants that to go away. Things like linked in with ailments more so. Then things like, for example, things he does like or wants to come to him. he writes on the white one. So it's things like, you know, he's wants to keep being happy, meet more friends. Can't remember the other things he put. It's basically things that he wants. He likes, you know, to be happy in his life, and I help him to write those things down. Some things he actually tells me what he wants, and I write it and put it on, or we get a big sticker, and you know, and it might have a word on it. For example, like if he's done something, it'll have like, you know, well done, or I am happy, or he also put on his black one, he's like, you know, he doesn't want to be sad, he doesn't want to be grumpy, because his biological, I was going to say the word there but I'm not saying it, the medical thing that he has issues with makes him feel sad or grumpy, so doesn't want to feel those things linked in with that ailment, so we put them on there as well. So his intent and his love and his feelings are paramount in that, and we release those. So when he releases the black one, he's like, you know, says things like, you know, go away, or you know, says things that are linked in with the, you know, the no, I don't want that in my life type of thing. And then he's like claps and cheers and things. And then when he releases the white one, he'll say things like, you know, happy, and he shouts out just random words. So we'll light that off, and we set them off in different directions as well. Which actually wasn't, I was thinking of that in my head actually, but he was the one that came out and said it. He wanted the black one this way and the white one this way, or the white one this way and the black one this way, can't remember. So I don't know if it's just something that he does and he really likes to do, and it's just like something maybe other kids might want to do in their own way. So I think that's a bit about it. So anyway, I hope everybody has an awesome Samhain and Halloween, and I will see you next week. So lots of love and blessings. Bye!